So you need to have a team that's going to be able to reach everybody. And so I think having a lot of people involved and just being there, being available, that's one of our greatest resources we have in our village. It's other.
Thanks, Chish. One of the things that I miss, not being at home and living at home yet, is the direct connection to our land and the direct connection to being in a place where it's your tribal laws, it's your tribal people, it's your tribal lands that are holding everybody together. And you are doing innovative work in your communities. Could you share a story about something that your community put its focus on and that you folks have been able to lift up by utilizing the strength that you each mentioned, the ability to compromise and work through difficult times, and then having more than just yourself, creating an opportunity for the whole community to take leadership roles, so it's not just you, it's everybody in a leadership role. Can you speak a little bit about something that's happening like that in your communities?
I can speak for St. Mary's, something that I was a part of way back in 1996.
Hey, Sandy, nice to see you.
With the start of the AmeriCorps program, when I graduated from college, I went home and I was volunteer for the AmeriCorps program.
I'm your mom's cousin.
And that was
that's why I just checked out the first floor and everything there, and I'm recording here. What's going on? What's going on here? We're talking about.
But that year,
a banner.
there was a handful of us
cool, right
throughout the state that would come to
she's down here.
And learn
Okay, cool. I might go
how
down
to talk with people, educate our communities about pollution, recycling, reducing, reusing, things that I thought our culture are already really good at. And we just needed to build on that within our villages. So today, we have the EPA programs, and they've grown into partnerships with different organizations throughout the communities. And there's been a handful of workers, that have passed the position on year after year. But St. Mary's, I'm proud to say, is one of our cleanest villages on the Yukon. We take pride in making sure we reduce. We got rid of the plastic bags many years ago. We recycle, and there's just a really good public awareness about taking care of your land. Leaving things the way you found them when you go out hunting, not disturbing things, and not being wasteful or reckless with your resources in your land. And I think for me, that's probably one of the best examples. It's small, people don't really think about it, but when you travel outside, you really come back home and you see, yeah, St. Mary's really has made a lot of progress with this issue, and it shows. People take pride.
I think one story for Ikiagig is that our community felt that our school district was not doing an adequate job of place-based education and teaching our children about this connection that we share with land. We felt like that wasn't being adequately represented in the classroom, and we would talk about it at local school advisory committee meetings, and we were concerned that children are too focused and connected to technology, and that the emphasis was there, but local science and native technology was just not being learned. And we recognize that with our elders now today alive in the village, we have our last generation that actively lived out on the landscape. And they each have encyclopedic knowledge. And after the elders, the next generation does not have that encyclopedic knowledge that you get from moving place to place with the season. So the school district hadn't moved in this direction, and we recognized that it would take a long time for them to move in that direction. So the school and the community work together, and we plan a spring camp every year. And I think we're on our 5th or 6th one. Maybe we're going on 7th. I'm not sure, but it's called Goose Camp, and we take, we do this on our vacation days, And we do it in partnership with the village council so that the school doesn't have liability. But we select a theme, so some years it's climate change, last year it was the Yupik language, and we take all of our youth across the river to go camping and learn survival techniques. We taught them about traditional paints and how to make ulus. And there's just a different theme every year, and it's a community bonding time. Anyone from the community is welcome to camp. And then we take them to our old village sites. We had them map out one of our ancient village sites. And the community is welcomed over for a potluck night. And we have yubak and storytelling. And it's turned into the highlight of the year for the springtime. So that's, and through that we're hoping the children learn, what they're not learning in the classroom. And sometimes you have to recognize the limitations of the classroom. Bringing them outside and actually physically having that experience is something that I think we're doing in the right direction.
In Port Ivan, and
Nice to see you here. Hiya.
we're all fishermen, well most of us are, and we do a lot of environmental work in the summertime for the people who don't fish. So we're trying to get everybody else into fishing, so we are building our own fish processing plant in Port Ivan. We've been working at it for a couple years now, and we're trying to introduce new technology, new freezing technology, and so we can work all year round and be able to provide employment to all of our people, rather than seasonal jobs just in the summertime and road work. So we're just trying to do something, utilize all of our natural resources.
Wonderful. Cheers. So, of course, one of our most precious natural resources are our own people. And each of your efforts in your community, I know it's hard as Native people, especially as Native leaders, people, in another world or in Western world, you often have to start sentences with I did this, or I'm doing that, or that kind of approach. But I know that each of you in your leadership are coming from a how are we going to do this as a community, and you have to pull in all of your resources in order to do that. I heard a theme come up from each of you about the utilization and the acknowledgement and recognition of how critical our elders' voices are and our youth's voices are. And can you share how you incorporate your elders and youth voices into the work that you do for your community? And how does that generate energy, or how does that help lift and shift and challenge you in your work in a good way?
I had to laugh because at my other event I told a leadership story, and I wanted to say, I told this story about a chief who was a big visionary, and I wanted to say he led the people with a strategic plan, a comprehensive plan, who lined out all their actions. Really made me laugh, but we really do, our village does have a strategic plan, and it was drafted by every member of Igiagi, from preschool all the way to our elders. And the children were tasked with just simply drawing pictures of what they wanted Igiagi to look like, and that was their voice, and we incorporated that into the plan. And whatever everybody agreed on, we wrote those into the projects. I was thinking about it when I stepped in 2008 to be the administrator. I had a roadmap that of all these projects I could go after that had 100% community support, because it was the community's plan. One of the things that topped the list was a greenhouse. People wanted a greenhouse. We have that now. We have a local farmers market, and everyone is just so happy and supportive, and it just goes to show one small project. It was a vision, it was a dream, everybody thought it was a good idea, we went after it, and it's working, and it is improving the quality of life where we live.
We did the same thing in Port Iden. It was, we did our strategic plan in